Alright, so our next lesson is chapter 3.1, and it's talking about parallel lines cut by a transversal. So first of all, what is a transversal? Well, here's the definition. Okay, now here are your parallel lines. These two that are going parallel, those are your parallel lines. However, this line right here, that is called your transversal. It's the line that cuts two parallel lines. So it intersects, this transversal intersects parallel lines at two lines at two different points. Okay, so first of all, this line is called your transversal. So here, this is your transversal. Okay, when you have two parallel lines that are cut by a transversal, a bunch of relationships are made with your angles. Okay, so I purposely whited out the places that showed you what angles were which, because I want you to follow me and write it down. So the first relationship type is called corresponding. So if this angle right here, so put a little circle right here. This angle is corresponding with this angle. That's the relationship they have. They're called corresponding. They're on the same side of the transversal. They're on the same side, but they're like in the same position but aligned down. Okay? Now, I know y'all all don't use different colors like some of us do. So there's more than one corresponding relationship. So put a star here and put a star here. So these two are corresponding. These two stars are corresponding. Let's put an arrow here and an arrow here. Or an X, that's fine. Okay, so all the different shapes are corresponding to each other. So this heart here is corresponding with this angle. So what is that? Okay, well, what is that supposed to mean? Like, why do we need to know that? Corresponding angles are always the same. So if this circle right here is 100 degrees, what's this circle? They're the same. That's why you need to know that.
They still do ACT questions, like they'll give you the measure of one, and
You have
because
to
you
find
know
the
the
other.
rules, you can find all the rest of them.
Okay, so that's corresponding. The next one is called alternate interior. So it's going to be on alternate sides of the transversal, and it's inside your two parallel lines. So here's one, and here is the other. These two angles are alternate interior of each other. Like inside. However, guess what? There's one more pair. We'll get there. But for interior, there's another pair. There's this angle and this angle. Alternate interior angles are also congruent. So if this circle right here is 70 degrees, guess what this one is? 70 degrees. It's important to know the relationships because you have to be able to find all different angles. Okay, now exterior. So these are on alternate sides of the inside. Now these are alternate sides of the outside. So here's one, and it is alternate exterior over here. And then this one is alternate exterior with this one. Guess what those are as well? Congruent, the same. So if this one is 110 degrees, you can know that this one down here is also 110 degrees. All right, 3 more. Supplementary. This word is not new. Supplementary always equals how many degrees? 180. So there's a lot of different angles on here that equal 180, but it takes two. So basically what you're looking for is two angles that make a straight line. Well, don't these two angles make a straight line? So together, they have to equal how many degrees? 180. Is everybody writing this down with me? Okay, let's find another pair. Those two make a straight line, but what about these two? Do they make a straight line? Well, if I wrote in pen, the answer is probably yes.
Look at the line.
Okay, see how together they form a straight line? Well, this one also makes a straight line with this angle. And then this one is supplementary to this one.
Wait, which one?
Wait, are you
The
talking about
triangles.
the underside of that line?
Uh-huh. So, actually, I did this on purpose. You can go horizontally, two angles make 180, or you can go vertically. Either way, two angles are making a straight line.
But, I mean,
The bottom of the line and the top of the line, yeah.
Yeah, so these two right here, they make 180. These two make 180. These two make 180, but also these two do as well, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to keep practicing. Okay, vertical. It's exactly what you think. This one is vertical to this one. Vertical angles are always the same. Congruent. They're always the same. So, if these two are the same, then this one is also vertical to this one. Uh-huh. And a project. Okay. What about, is this one? This one's vertical to this one, isn't it? And then this one is vertical to this one. So vertical angles are always the same. All right, we have one more. It's called consecutive. Have y'all ever met those Alabama fans that constantly remind you that they are back to 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 back national championships or champions? Okay, back to back. What does that mean? Consecutive, over and over and over, year after year after year. Okay, so consecutive angles are back to back. They are angles that lie on the same side between two lines. So this angle is consecutive with this angle. However, they're not congruent. A lot of you will mix it up with this being congruent. Consecutive angles are not congruent. They add to equal 180 degrees. This other side over here also has a pair of consecutive angles. These two. So they're on the inside and they're between two parallel lines. If they're consecutive. Okay.
Consecutive interior.
Yeah.
Angles.
Okay, so if they equal 180 and this one is 70 degrees, how many is this one? Well, how many do they have to be?
110.
180. So it has to be 110. Now, trick question, real quick. If this angle is 110, what's this angle? No. If this angle is 110, what's this angle? Because of why? Vertical. Vertical. Okay? So, we're going to keep practicing. However, use this, keep this out to help you while we practice. So, what I want you to do